Hi, today we're going to be making the Moon Yantra. The new moon coming up. Thought it would be a nice thing to celebrate. And the mantra is Om Cham Chandraya. Chandra is the moon. Namaha. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. I honor the benefic energy of the moon. All right, so we're going to begin from scratch, and first thing we do is find the center of our piece of paper. We're going to be talking a little bit more as we go about why we're even doing the moon. But let's start the drawing. All right, so we're going to find the center. I like to just find it by finding the diagonal lines. As you can see, my ruler is not quite long enough, so I just add something. It's a little trick, ruler lengthening trick. And I had a request for this yantra, so if you requested this yantra, thank you. It's always nice to make the moon yantra. So once you have that cross showing you where the center of your page is, take your compass, open it to about 1 inch, and then place that point in the center. Then you're going to draw a circle. And then I'm going to erase that crisscross. Then with my ruler, my stealthy grid ruler, everybody should have a grid ruler in their lives, I am going to make a horizontal line that just goes through. My pencil is just going to go through that indentation. And if you have a grid ruler, you can always check the side. So I can kind of check and see if it looks like it's going to be happy. So far, so good. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line through there, and it's going to feel for that indentation. Horizontal guideline. Then we're going to make a vertical guideline. So now you have two things to work with. You have that horizontal line. You have the hole, which is going to be the bindu. You even have the edge of the ruler. And then you have Chandra himself. Okay, so let's do that line. And then once you have your crisscross, vertical and horizontal line, you can take your compass. You're going to open it up, and you can kind of test, see if your vertical and horizontal are good. If they're not good at this point, sometimes I'll redraw my vertical and horizontal. I think that's good. And then I took a measurement. You see that? The measurement was where the circle connects with those with the vertical and horizontal. And then I'm making a little mark. And then I'll come to the next spot. Make another mark. This is to get the true diagonal lines in your yantra. So why are we working with the moon? Oh, the moon. The moon keeps us in tune. It even rhymes. The moon keeps us in tune with the rhythms and the cycles and the days and the ebb and flow of our emotions. Right now we're heading to the new moon, so this is a quieter time. Time for finishing things off. Sometimes that happens. finishing things off. Right, I said I would make this moon yantra, so I'm making it before the new moon. So you're going to make a little crisscross here, diagonal crisscrosses. So the most important thing is that this line goes through that little indentation. It's really such a joyful process making the yantra. Okay, so that's going to go through the crisscrosses, and then we're going to decide the top of the piece of paper. It's always good to know where the top is, so I'm going to make an arm at the top. Ah, ooh, And the next thing I'm going to decide is how large to make the circle that's going to contain the yantra. So let's see. This is a circle that will be erased, so don't press too hard. All right, it's going to be pretty big because there's 2 rows of petals here. Okay, so I'm going to make a pretty large circle. Then I'm done with my compass for a moment. And I'm coming back to my ruler and pencil, and I'm going to join the diagonals. So where do the diagonals touch the circle? That's 4 points, and that's going to create a square. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. Hopefully you can see it. So I often turn my paper as I'm drawing. So the new moon, it's always good to pause. Empty the cup, empty your mind for a moment. Reflect on all the things that have happened in the past month. See what's working, what's not working. And realize you can choose how to approach the next month. Sometimes you have to just do nothing for a moment. Really let go of patterns that aren't serving you. And then begin again. And then you're really making a conscious choice about the things you are continuing to do or to have in your life. So I feel like the new moon is really a period of reflection. And making this yantra is going to really bring you in tune with that energy. All right, so now you have your square. Once you have your square, you're going to bisect. That means divide in two, one piece of the square. So here's one piece. It's the outer half. Okay, so we have the whole square, and then we have this outer half. Okay, so it's like half of one side. And then I place my metal point on one corner and my lead at the center. Then I'm going to do the same process I did just there. I'm going to make a crisscross. I can do it on both sides. I have a nice big piece of paper. And if you don't have a big piece of paper, you can actually just put another piece of paper underneath. So I have two crisscrosses, and I'm going to join those with a ruler. I'm also going to make sure the ruler is parallel to that central line, so the lines have a nice sense of relationship to each other. And then I'm going to draw from the square to this outer circle. So I just drew that short line from the square to the outer circle. Once I have that line, it's like I have a measurement. And I'll go back in with my compass. This is the metal, there's the lead. So I've shortened my compass now for the new measurement. And I'm going to bring the compass around to the other side of the square. Okay? So now I have the same measurement on either side of the main line. Then I'll take my compass and go to all the centers of the squares, sides of the square. So there's 8 little marks in total, and I'll join those. I'll connect all of them. And actually it's nice to look at both sides of the ruler for this. So I'll look up there, I'll look down here, and then I'll draw just that outer line. And I'll do both. Finish this one. And then when you have those 8 lines, the next thing you do is close them. So you're going to make a straight line just below that little lip of the circle. Here it's nice if you can feel that this line is parallel to the outer edge of the square. So I might go ahead and use my ruler for that so I can check. So you can just look through the grid ruler and make sure it really is square, really is parallel. All right, I'll spin it around again. So the Moon Yantra is interesting. It has 2 sets of petals, so it becomes quite a beautiful thing to gaze at. The outer layer of petals is 16. I think that was why somebody asked me to do this today. How do you make 16 petals? Well, actually, everything divides and divides and divides in this yantra. So 2 or multiplies, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16. So there's this doubling of space. Right now we're dividing, right, and creating more equal units, equal divisions. It's very harmonious. The whole process is very harmonious, and you really don't need to have measurements per se, numerical measurements.